Hello, entrepreneurs, dreamers, business owners, and happy people with high hopes. Welcome to Cashflows with your host, Cash Matthews.
All right, welcome to Cashflows, all of you people with high hopes. My name is Cash Matthews. I'll be your host for this session, and we are very glad you're here. This show is about a concept called Fire, Aim, Ready. And too many people, too often, they're great people with great goals and great plans, but they struggle to pull the trigger. And we believe the answer is to copy off of your neighbor. You know, often in life, other people have succeeded at your endeavor where you haven't. And, you know, in the third grade for me, it was very tough because I found out we're not supposed to copy off of our neighbor. But what I learned later in life, it's one of the most endearing qualities you can have as a human, because those that have gone down the path before you have the wisdom you seek, and so many of those people are willing to share it. We do that here on Cashflows. We bring great people who are having different kinds of success in business, life, personal, health, finance, with their home. And we bring them in front of you that their golden nuggets of wisdom might be imparted upon you that you could do better as well. And that is our high hope for you. So happy people with high hopes. We're going to get the show started, but before we do, let me introduce you to our executive producer, Mr. Kenneth Baucum. Kenneth, hello.
Hello. Thank you. I appreciate the introduction and the warm welcome.
Very warm.
It's almost like we've been here before.
You know, it's like we're three dudes living in a refrigerator box that's well appointed.
It's a little bit warm for being a refrigerator box, right?
Yeah,
but that's okay. That's okay. I'd rather have it warm than freezing at this point. It's already freezing-ish outside.
Yeah, the weather outside is frightening.
Well, but there's no fire inside.
Oh, okay.
So,
good point.
But it is delightful. So, but yeah, man, episode 83 of helping entrepreneurs here in the Tulsa area, helping them rock and roll right through their businesses. And I'm wondering, I know we did this a few episodes back. Maybe we can kind of go back over it again, make sure we hit all the points again for those that are just now tuning in.
Absolutely.
But yeah, there's 5 different like data points that you talk about kind of gathering and putting into a database for entrepreneurs to know more about their customers. Tell us more about that.
You know, Kenneth, thank you. And that's really a great topic. When I was coming up in life, I heard people say I'm a database manager. And I mean, that's the dumbest thing. What even is that? And a database is a place where you store data.
Yeah. And
the base part, I don't know what that means, but you know, it's a data bucket.
There you go.
And you know, I've been building my career for 42 years, and I learned something about data that's valuable. And I'm going to share with you what we call the 5 key data points that you must have when you create a client relationship. And there are many reasons why, but chief among those is this. The best place to get a client is from a client. And if you're not keeping the right data on existing clients, existing prospects, existing referrals, then it's very easy to lose track of what you're working on, and you'll lose a lot of effort when you lose a referral. You lose a lot of effort when you don't adequately document who you've talked to. So I'm going to talk about the 5 main data points. I'm going to do this quickly. We're not going to solve the problem in this podcast. We're going to talk about the problem. If you'd like to solve the problem, schedule some time with myself or Kenneth. You can reach us at Cashflows at Tulsa B.O.N.G.com. I think most people know how to spell bong.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Cashflows at Tulsa B.O.N.G. Cashflows at TulsaB.com. And we would love to have a conversation about how to manage your data and do it in a way that benefits your business. It makes your work life more valuable. It makes your time investment return better. And we're going to talk about database. And there are 5 points of data that you must collect on every person if you're going to build a business that has repeating income. Number 1 is their name. We all know that. I have Tyler Davis here. I have his name. Pretty basic. You got to have somebody's name so you know what to call them. You know, hey, you, not enough. And so data point number 1 is their name. Number 2 is their cell phone. Man, because if you're going to text or phone call, you got to have their cell phone number in this day and age. We no longer ask for their home phone. Do you have a home phone?
I do not.
I don't either. Do you have a home phone?
I do not.
Man, that poor company that did not see that coming, that sold home phones.
Yeah. We finally just got rid of the home phone at my parents' house. They had it for years and years and years. So like there's now a phone number out there that people are going to call and they're going to get someone else answering.
Right.
And I don't know how to feel about that.
That's kind of weird. All right. Database number 1, your name. Number 2 is your cell phone. Number 3 is the email. Those are the minimum 3 essential. If you meet with somebody doing a one-on-one or at an event, or you do an official appointment and you're talking about business stuff, cool, but you better have at a minimum those 3 data points the first time you meet them. You know, in the last 2 years, I've done 1,100 one-on-one visits here in my local community. And my favorite thing to do is get data. When we moved here, I told my wife, like, you wait and see, in a year, I'm going to have 1,000 names in my phone. And we didn't know anybody. We were starting at 0. And, you know, I had no credibility. Nobody knew who I was. And the witness protection program has done very well for me. But you got to have their name, cell phone, and email. Here's where it gets great. Does it get a little harder? Yeah. Is it a little weirder? Absolutely. But I want you to know something. Success is a little bit harder. Success is a little bit weirder. You know, there's not a lot of growth in the comfort zone, and there's not a lot of comfort in the growth zone. And if you're trying to grow a business, sometimes you have to do that uncomfortable thing. Here's the thing I learned to do many years ago when you meet somebody new and you feel like there's somebody that you might want to stay connected with. And I asked this question, and it would be like, hey, Kenneth, would it be weird if I asked to send you a birthday card?
No.
I've never had anybody say no. You know, and I'll usually say, would it be weird to send you a handwritten birthday card on your birthday? And most people say no. I'm like, well, you know, man, I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it. What's your date of birth? Nobody's ever said no. And I'm sure there's smart Alex listening to this. They're going to schedule time to go, no.
I can't wait to tell him no.
I can't wait, because there's value in no. I'm like, I don't know. Cool story, bro. And then I ask for their mailing address. Like, where would you like me to mail the birthday card? And I look down at my notepad, and I don't look up until they've given me their address. And I'm not trying to trick anybody, but I do something with it at that point.
Yeah.
I've created a system whereby my clients and prospects and people that I want to stay connected with, 5 days before their birthday, we mail out a card. If I know them really well, we mail out a card and a thing of brownies. If I know them really, really well, I don't send them the brownies. I send them to me. Invite them over for brownies.
Yeah.
But, you know, so we have a birthday card gifting program, birthday cards and gifting program for all of our clients.
Yeah.
And here's what I can tell you. Man, I love meeting a client. Maybe I haven't seen them for a couple of years, and I bump into them somewhere, and they're like, man, we are so thankful. You're the only person in the last 2 years that sent me a handwritten birthday card. My family didn't. My church didn't. You did. And it's a way to grow your business. Is it more expensive? Yeah, if you see it that way, to me, it's the right kind of investment into your business where you're actually growing, connecting, developing, and maintaining the right kind of relationships. So something to think about. Email us, cashflows@tulsabong.com. And with that, I'm excited to introduce our guest this evening, Mr. Tyler Davis. Tyler, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Dude, we're glad you're here, man. This is going to be a great show. Recently got to interview your wife. She was amazing. She did a great show. Tyler is the founder of Davis Inspection Group, LLC. If you want to find him online, davisinspectiongroupllc.com. And we're going to find out a little bit about his business. At the end, we'll get a great business nugget. And this is one of those interviews we've been looking forward to. So, Tyler, let's start with, where did we meet? How did we meet? Because we met at this Bong thing, right?
Yes, sir.
What was that like for you?
It was amazing, actually. I got to come to a new members meeting, and it was very informative. Got to meet a lot of new people, and just had a great time.
Yeah. And so you start now. Do you participate? We've got this big Facebook page with nearly 6,000 members. Seems like you're one of the lead guys on there, saying, "Hey, welcome everybody."
I do. I try to tell everybody hi. I try to just welcome everybody, make them feel at home. I know when I first joined, I kind of stayed in the back a little bit, just trying to check it out, see what it was like. But yeah, I think it's good to get to know everybody and let them know that they're very welcome here.
Yeah, and just so you know, that does not go unnoticed. And we love it when our community steps up and says, "Hey, everybody, welcome to the page. Let's have a one-on-one." I guess you've done a few one-on-ones?
Yep.
So what have those been like for you?
They've been excellent, actually. Yeah. Getting to know people personally, not just about their business, but get to know them personally and get to know a little bit about them and what their family's like and what they like to do on their off time, and not necessarily what the business is about.
Yeah, you're not trying to make a sale on the first visit.
Exactly.
You're just trying to get to know people.
Yep.
And that's
exactly
one of the
right.
differences for us, Kenneth, just in basic networking. Our networking may be a little different. We're not handing out business cards. We're getting phone numbers and emails and addresses, and the cards we do are birthday cards. But we just want to connect with people, and I like doing it on Facebook. And I want to know what they had for dinner last night.
Sure.
Or what they like on their hot dog.
Or what they like on their hot dog. One
That's
of the
right.
great questions. We would love to hear from you in an email at cashflows@tulsabong.com and know what you like to have on your hot dog. What do you like in your hot dog?
I'm a plain guy.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Yep.
All right. And you?
So I go back and forth between ketchup only and ketchup, a little mustard, little relish.
Yeah. Okay. I am a ketchup, mustard, a KMR, ketchup, mustard, relish. Heard one the other day, put a full pickle spear on there.
Wow.
We're getting ready to go out to eat. That may be what I have for dinner.
I was actually really adventurous before. There was actually a place in town that did all kinds of different recipes with hot dogs, and they had one called a Denver that had mac and cheese on top of,
Oh.
Interesting.
All right, and that ends our show. Thank you.
Off to eat.
We had a place in Austin called Dog Almighty.
Yeah.
And a hot dog place. So I haven't found one of those here in the Tulsa area. But,
Interesting. I'd like to find one of those.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's collaborate and go open a hot dog stand.
Or do that, yeah.
What we could do is we could sell, we don't really promote alcohol, but we could start a beer and hot dog place and call it Frankenstein.
Oh, that was the wrong one. I was supposed to do the joke.
No, that wasn't a joke.
Oh, no. Okay.
You're in the right
I got it
track
right
there.
first time.
I think it'd be huge. I think you'd be like serving 4 or 5 hot dogs a day.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Maybe 6 on weekends.
And we could only hope. We're here with Tyler Davis, the founder and president of Davis Inspection Group, LLC. And we're just getting to know him. We're in the jokey part of our deal because Kenneth is in control and he writes the script.
That's right.
But we want to learn about Tyler and his family and find out a little bit about him. So, Tyler, once again, thank you for being part of the Bong.
Most definitely.
And you're one of the newer members, but you're also very active. And it's so neat for us to see somebody new come into the deal. And you're like me, you have a little bit of anxiety.
Big time.
Yeah, you and I are probably the anxious brothers.
Yes.
But you're doing it anyway.
Yep.
You feel the fear and do it anyway. And I think that's one of the things people should know about you, that when they see you operating in public, that it takes a little bit of work for you to do that.
Most definitely. It takes a lot of work for me to do it, actually. That's why I kind of stay in the back at most of the events and just kind of watch people. I'm a people watcher.
At some point in the near future, we have these 5-minute slots where you come up and speak in front of all 80 or 90 people. You're aware of that potentiality, right?
I do.
Where do you think that's headed?
Probably towards myself.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good guess.
But
every time we like to have 1 or 2 new person, somebody inside of a year. And we absolutely, when I found out you had anxiety, like, oh, he's going to the front of the room.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. So, I apologize in advance, but you'll be great.
Well, and that's okay. I need to work on it anyway. So
all right.
a little bit of stage presence won't hurt me anything.
Face your fear, and the death of fear is certain.
That's right.
That's a meme. I don't know if that's at all true, but we'll find out.
That's
Well,
right.
it was on the internet, so.
I saw it on the internet. Abe Lincoln said it.
Then it must be true.
Of course, yes.
Just kidding.
Yes.
Well, so we're here in Tulsa, but have you always been an Oklahoma guy?
I have not, actually. I was born here, and then about 4 or 5, my dad, he picked up a new job up in Lawrence, Kansas.
Okay.
And we all packed up and moved up there. Stayed up there, did all of my schooling career in Lawrence.
Okay.
So home of the Jayhawks, go KU, baby.
Okay, so you started out an OU fan, just didn't know it.
That's right.
Became a Kansas fan.
That's right.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. No, I'm trying to remember one of my mentors. I think that's where he was the athletic director, a guy named David Cook. Does that name ring a bell? I need to check. He might have been Kansas State, but he was a Kansas student, a brilliant teacher, and was one of my mentors earlier in my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so how do you get from Kansas back here?
Well, my mother, she fell ill and needed some help down here.
Okay.
And I was the only one from my family left in Lawrence at the time. So that was the right thing to do, to move down here, to help her out, I had a young son at the time, and was just very, very young at the time and needed a new move, and thought this was the best place to do it.
Yeah. And a move is kind of refreshing.
Most definitely.
Even if you don't need it. We moved to Tulsa on a whim 3 years ago. We didn't need to. We weren't, but man, it was very refreshing to get to a place. And this has just turned out to be like the greatest place in the world.
For me, it definitely has. I've met my wife down here.
Okay.
And
now we're talking.
Yeah, it has been a blessing to me to come down here.
Right. So you moved down to help out with your mom.
Yep. And basically started my electrical journey at that point in time. Lawrence, there wasn't very many job opportunities up there. No electric company would give me the chance and to come work for them because I didn't have any experience at that time.
Right. And that's always that conundrum. Like, we'll hire if you have experience. Well, how do I get to experience if you don't hire me?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's always been a struggle.
And so I started my electrical career and did industrial, at first. That was a lot of traveling.
Oh, yeah.
And
you had a young son at this time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a tough road right there.
It was huge. And I just couldn't do it. I needed to be home with him. I needed to raise him and not be on the road all the time. And so I went and tried commercial because it's similar to industrial electric,
right.
But it still had its traveling days, and I still wasn't at home as much as what I would like it. So I changed to residential. And so and that's what I stuck with. I did residential for about 8 years.
Wow.
And finally got my unlimited journeyman's license and just did electric for probably about 12 years total.
Okay.
And after that, my dad, he needed some help in his business. He takes care of small towns and communities' water and wastewater systems.
Okay.
As their operator and lab tech. And so I went and got my operator's license and lab license and started helping him out. And we've been doing that now for about the last 8 years.
So you're still part of that?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. I still do that as well, also with my inspecting company.
How cool is that? Now, tell us about your family dynamic. I know you've got a couple of boys.
Yep, I have 3 boys.
3 boys, okay, sorry.
Yep, one with my current wife. He's 9. He's a basketball and soccer player.
Yeah.
And, of course, Fortnite player as well.
Right.
But, he loves his sports. And then I've also got 2 other boys from previous marriages. One is 14, and I've got a 20-year-old as well.
Oh, my gosh. And your 20-year-old's like an adult? I mean, coming on adulthood?
He is an adult.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's he up to?
He is still at home trying to
Okay.
figure things out. He's started a little company doing marketing on Facebook and stuff like that for little companies, me being one of them.
You being one of them, okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, tell him it worked. You're here in front of us.
Most definitely.
And now in front of, what, a good 8, 9 people?
12, I think.
12?
Yeah,
This thing has grown from day
really
one, man.
has.
We
It
are
really
killing
has.
it here. So your youngest he's an athlete.
Yep, they actually all are, but yeah.
And were you an athlete?
Yes.
Back in the day? What was your sport?
Soccer.
Yeah?
I was a soccer dude.
Okay, so you're up at KU.
Yep.
Did you play soccer for them, or you just...
Nope, didn't play soccer, and I didn't go to KU. I just grew up in at Lawrence, which is where KU's at. But
Right.
no, I played soccer all through my younger schooling career.
Man, have you tried? Soccer's hard.
It is.
Like, and I love watching little kids play soccer. It's like this group of little kids.
Yep.
They look like a bunch of
Right.
bees looking for a
That's
thing.
right.
But, man,
That's
I love kids soccer. I like watching it. And I went out and tried to play with some people. And, I lasted a good minute. And I'm like, wait, how long do I have to run? Well, the whole,
Yeah, it's a lot of running.
Can you point me to the knitting club?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, intramurals were tough for me. And so your children that are entrepreneurial, your 20-year-old is started a marketing company.
Yes, sir.
Do they see you as an entrepreneur, and that you think that rubs off on them? Because I think that's a beautiful story.
I would hope so. I would like to think so. That's one of the main reasons why I started Davis Inspection Group was to be able to give them something to pass down if they want to,
or just a place to work, because to get that experience in case they want to get a job out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're a sports guy.
Yep.
Now, so the Kansas OU thing, you're still a Kansas fan?
Well, yes, I do like the Chiefs, most definitely.
Okay,
I do like KU.
Yeah.
Now I do also like OSU.
Okay.
I'm an OSU guy too. I live down here, so I got to choose one of the two, OU or OSU. And
well, I actually went to OU for a while.
Okay.
And I went to OU instead of OSU because it was easier to spell. And I graduated I graduated from Central State, but they were an NAIA team, kind of hard to root for.
Right.
They were like playing at the high school stadiums and stuff. They weren't, but I think they've gotten a little better. Now, do you do anything athletically now? Golf, fish, hunt, any of that stuff? Kill snakes, I heard.
We do kill snakes, and I do hunt deer occasionally.
Right.
I don't like the cleaning part of the deer hunting.
Yeah.
And so, but I of course won't let any meat go to waste.
Right.
So whenever I need some meat, I'll definitely do a little deer hunting.
And you know how to clean a deer?
Yes.
Okay, that's the whole. Your man card is safe around here. I know how to do it. You just go to the grocery store and you give them a little plastic deal, and they go in the back and shoot it, kill it, put it in a bucket.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's pretty awesome.
Heck
So,
yes.
you live on some land.
We do. We have 10 acres.
Oh man,
just north of Tulsa.
That to me is that to me is just awesome.
We love it.
Yeah.
I grew up in the country, and I wanted my boys to have the same freedom that you have in the country, to be able to go and run and play and scream and do whatever you want to do, basically.
And is 10 acres enough?
Not necessarily, but it's enough for them for now. We get by. It's plenty to bow hunt on. It's plenty to play soccer and play basketball on. So I think it's plenty of land for us.
Okay, cool. So what about animals? You an animal guy?
We are. We definitely are animal guy. We've got 3 dogs, a cat, a deaf cat at that.
Heard about that.
And roughly 20 or so chickens.
I think maybe somebody in your family brought me eggs today. And
Did she?
I may have eggs in my office right now, which is awesome.
Heck yes.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
That's awesome.
So let's talk about your business.
Okay.
And we want to, I know you've done some things, but I want to hear a little bit more about Davis Inspection Group, LLC, and find out what you do, how you do it, and how we can connect you with people looking for that.
Excellent.
Yeah, so tell us about yourself.
Well, about the company?
Yeah, which is what you do.
Well, we're a home inspection company. We do buyers inspections, sellers inspections. We do home maintenance inspections, which is normally done yearly.
Right.
We also do an 11-month inspection for new homeowners who have just built a home.
Okay. So they bought a new home, they've been in it a while, and you're kind of doing the follow-up.
Yep, and to make sure, because normally when you buy a home, you'll get a 1-year warranty from the builder.
Right.
And all of the trades as well.
Okay.
And so we come out 11 months after you've been in there, right before the 1-year warranty's up, do a home inspection, make sure that there's nothing in there that the builder needs to come back and replace. And normally they'll replace it for free because it's under the 1-year warranty.
Right. Now, did your work you were an electrician for 12 years.
Yep.
I mean, that has to give you an advantage on the inspection business, because that's one of the things you have to get it right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the electrical is a big part of the inspection. I mean, a lot of guys won't pull the panel front off of the panel. That's something that I do on every inspection.
Right.
I look in the main, and I look at everything to make sure that it's looking good.
So what kind of testing requirements are there in your industry? Do you have to go, I mean, I know there's a license.
Right.
What's the testing about?
The license that you have to have for Oklahoma, it's different, of course, for every state. But for Oklahoma, you have to have 90 hours of book work And then you are able to go and take the state test at that point in time.
Okay.
And the state test, you go to a testing facility. They give you, I think it was 2 hours to take the test, and you try to pass it. You do as best as you can.
You took it, and you passed
and
it?
I thankfully passed it on the first time.
Okay. And I'm guessing some people don't.
No, and I've heard that a lot of people don't pass it on the first time. I am not a test taker either.
Right.
When I went and took my electrical journeyman's test, I had to take it 3 different times. So,
oh man,
I was very, very lucky I passed the first time.
Wow. Yeah. But you have to have it though.
Yes.
And then
you have to have it.
Do you have continued required education that you have to do?
Yep. Every year we have to have 20 hours of 20 hours of continuing education.
Right.
And then I'm also a part of INTERNACHI, which is International Associations of Certified Home Inspectors, and they require me also to take a test every 3 years, which is the same test I took for the state. Basically, I have to take it every 3 years to be in this association.
So your potential customers can rest a little better knowing you. I mean, you have continuing ed, you have continuing testing, you have a license you have to passed it on the first try.
Yes, sir.
And you, I mean, that's going to lead me into my next question about, what sets you all apart from, and I don't know if there's a right word. If it's, I know home inspectors. I have home inspectors as clients,
right?
But we don't really talk about that a lot. What sets you apart from them? Is there a standard home inspector or traditional home inspector? What sets you guys apart?
Well, all the home inspectors in Oklahoma are pretty much on an even keel. It's just who's been doing it longer. There's not a master home inspector license or anything like that you can get. But what sets me apart, I feel, from other inspectors is just my strive to be the best person that I can be.
Yeah.
I am constantly learning, trying to study, and just better myself. The other big thing that is different than a lot of other home inspectors who are not part of INTERNACHI is that being part of INTERNACHI, I'm able to offer a buyback program. So if, say, I miss a major defect in your home while I'm doing a home inspection, and say it causes a major leak in your home, it causes several $1,000s worth of damage, and it's just a bad deal all around.
Right.
INTERNACHI will come back and buy that home back from you and give you the money back, and you can go out and purchase a new home that does not have any issues with it, that's to your liking. That isn't a big mess like the last home that you were in. It covers my butt. It covers your butt, as a client. It gives you peace of mind. If I do miss something that, it's not just, well, that's that. There is something that can be done about it.
All right. Very cool. We're going to take a quick commercial break and say thank you to one of our advertisers. Kenneth, who do you have today?
All right. Today, we're going to talk about MFP. With My Financial Plan, keep everything you own in one secure, accessible place. See everything you own and know what everything is worth. Benefits include a personal financial website with daily balances and budgeting tools. It's accessible anytime, and you can get it for yourself at joinmfp.com.
Beautiful. Very well read. I created that product and that idea that people could just punch one button and see literally everything they own.
It's pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool
amazing
thing. Yeah, we're really proud of that, and we're glad to be a sponsor of this show as well. So thank you for the nice studio read. That you have a really great voice.
Why, thank you.
We both have a face for radio.
Thank you.
I meant that as a high compliment. We're here today with Tyler Davis, the owner of Davis Inspection Group, LLC, and we're talking about the inspection world and the requirements and why this outfit might be better than better than some others, and you take a lot of continuing education, continuing testing. But I think equally important to all of that is you have 12 years in the electrical business prior to becoming an inspector. I mean, that has to give you a unique, sizable advantage.
I would think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's smartness, right?
Yes.
As Homer Simpson would say. Well, so what, there are people out there in the world that I think can do things for themselves. I am not one of them. You know, I sometimes you have to stay in your lane. You have to know your strengths. And you know, I had an experience. I was trying to fix a little patch in drywall, and you know, a week later, I've got my toilet torn out, the flooring torn out. Had to get a new bathtub, and the guy named Wayne who came and fixed it, he's like, "What happened?" Like, I was patching the wall over here, and he's like, "There is no wall over there." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it got bigger." And he's like, "Can I just give you some advice?" "Yeah. Don't ever try to fix your stuff. You don't know what you're doing." And he's like, "I'm going to make a gob off of you being kind of an idiot." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think that's been the message out there in the world."
Wow.
So we are thankful that but you're willing to share with us things that the average homeowner can do, you know, to take care of their stuff, to help with an inspection, to get it right. What are some of the things a homeowner can do on their own that they wouldn't need you for?
Most definitely. I would say one of the most important things that a lot of people do not think about regularly, at least, is to clean out your dryer vent. And not just at the dryer, clean it out clear to the outside of the house. And
Right.
hopefully your dryer vent goes to the outside of your house.
Yeah.
Some people's, they just go into the attic, or they don't go anywhere, just in the same room that the dryer's
Right.
in.
Is there a special tool for that? Like, you have to...
You can purchase it from Walmart. It's just it's got like a little brush on the end, and it has several lengths of.
Is it flexible? It'll go around turns?
Yep. It's very flexible, and it's very easy to do. You may have to get up in your attic, and you may not have to. It just depends on how clogged.
Mine goes outside, and I realized that I actually tried to do this 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to tell you the result. I got stuck. I mean, you know, we have a relatively okay washer dryer room, but you know, I just have to pull the dryer out and then climb over it, and then climb down into the hole with. And I took a vacuum cleaner that's got a long kind of thing I created, and that was not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It took me an hour. I'm like, I'd like that hour back. I don't know how much money I saved by doing that.
Right.
I want the hour back.
You may have saved your house from a house fire.
Well, you know, oddly enough, my brother's house burned down this morning. He's a neighbor. He's my neighbor. He has a rental house near me, and it burned down this morning.
Wow.
And that was one of the things.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, hey, you know, there's some home builder right now going, yes, you know, and it's a tragedy. Everybody got out safely. The renters in it. We're so happy about that, our neighborhood. But, you know, we have to, and this is something that we all need to think about, which is why what you're doing is important. Like, we need that, not just for making sure that a new house is okay at the warranty, but like on a day-to-day basis, homes need maintenance.
Yes.
And that you're the things that you're doing. I'm sorry, and I interrupted you. What are some other things that a homeowner can do, you know, really just to prevent a catastrophic event?
Well, the other thing that will help your AC and your heater out is to change your
Those air filter
like
kind of
air
thing?
filters.
air filters,
Yes.
yeah.
Sorry. I lost my mind there for a second.
Well, none of
But
us
yes,
have ever done that. We're all good.
Yes, clean the air filters out of your furnace.
Right.
That's a huge thing that a lot of people, again, don't think about regularly, and it just helps with the efficiency of it. Over time, if you never clean it, over time
This looks weird. I'm texting my wife.
it will definitely deteriorate your furnace.
You just triggered me.
Excellent.
I've never
That's
done this on
good.
a show. I'm on my phone
Clean.
and I'm
out.
sending a message
Yeah.
because, like, you're not talking about the ceiling vents. You're talking about the actual furnace.
Yes.
Uh-oh. And does it take like one of the paper kind of furnace?
Yes, sir.
Air filter, and it's an air filter.
Yep. Again, you can probably get it at one of the big box stores out there.
All right. Not going straight home tonight. Going to have to get a new filter for the furnace. Literally, we've had a guy work on ours, and I'm assuming that when he does his once a year maintenance, he's looking at it. But once a year is not enough, is it?
Not enough once a year, and hopefully he's changing it out for you on that yearly. That will help a lot. But again, I would say change it out at least every 3 months, if not on a monthly basis, if you can.
Well, and will that improve the air in our house as well?
Big time. Most definitely.
I'm an idiot. But I mean, but people make money because people like me I don't know how to do it. And
Right.
when you triggered me, and I'm like, I know I have a furnace. I wonder where it is. And then I was like, wait a minute, it's that big boxy thing up in the attic. I need to go take a look and see if it's been changed.
Yeah, and a lot of days they are in these newer homes putting them up in the attics, and it's making it harder and harder for homeowners to do it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to spend some time in the attic. Thank you for that. I genuinely appreciate that.
Most definitely.
So what has been, you started your company.
Yep,
It's going.
it is going.
You know, you're a husband, you're a dad, you're your own guy, you've got your own life. What's been hard about starting your company? What kind of, what challenges have you had?
The biggest challenge I would probably have to say would be my anxiety with
Yeah,
this.
right.
But another thing, it would have to fall back to just the family time that I
Right.
miss out on.
Yeah.
Having to work nights, weekends, every waking moment, trying to market and trying to do the business side of it as well as the legwork of it. It takes away from your family time. And so
Yeah.
for me, family is the most important thing other than God. And, it's just, it's one of those things that I cherish is my family time. And so that's been,
because
that's
you
been the
you
hardest.
you can't get that time back.
Ever.
It's never coming back to you.
Nope.
And good on you for figuring that out. We have a phrase: you don't want to be who's who in business, but who's he at home. And I have a 15-year-old at home, and it has been my priority all of her life to be there for all the things that she wants to attempt. All that she's in plays and sings, and I don't want to miss it.
Yep. Most definitely.
And the more I learn about this group of people here, I think we're all like that. We
Right.
don't want to miss life, so now we're doing life with all of our friends from the Bong.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the event last time, and I had a couple people come up and say, "Do you allow kids here?" And I went, "Yeah." Is that weird? And you could tell that they were having a discomfort. But I love having kids. I mean, we're educating children by what we do,
Right.
not by what we say.
Yeah.
But kids come in and see adults collaborating and building friendships and traveling together and going to dinner together, and then all of a sudden, they become wonderfully changed.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to be like their parents.
Exactly like us.
We're having an adult prom coming up.
Yep.
And last year, she was 14 then. She's like, "Dad, can I bring friends?" And I was like, "You can bring 3."
That's
And they
awesome.
all showed up, and they're all gathering and they're doing prom stuff. I'm so excited, but your love of your family is evident. And, I think that's what will make you the most successful, is that you've got the right kind of boundaries.
Awesome.
And man, we're absolutely rooting for you. All right.
appreciate that.
We are here with Tyler Davis and Davis Inspection Group LLC, davisinspectiongroup.llc.com. If you want to get a hold of Tyler, you can also find him on Facebook in the Tulsa B.O.N.G Facebook page if you'd like to do that. And we're going to finish up here with a golden nugget from our friend Tyler Davis, who has been so kind to come down and share some time here at Cashflows. So, Tyler, give us a business nugget that can change the game.
I would say my biggest thing to tell somebody starting a new business is to never give up. Life is too short to sit there and dwell on what happened yesterday. Just make tomorrow better than today was,
Yeah.
and never give up.
I think that is the greatest advice. It's simple, and all it is a choice.
Yep.
I'm going to see it through. And have you been tempted to give up?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah,
With my anxiety, almost every day.
yeah, and it's
But I want something better for my family, and so
Yeah.
if I've got to get out there and do it. I've got to get over it.
the cost and pain of doing something becomes less than the cost and pain of not doing something.
Right.
And your story is just perfect for that. We're proud of you. Never give up, sir.
Thank you.
Never give
I
up.
think that is the best advice that we can give to a young, old, anybody, is to never give up. God gives us those dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're 18, if you could imagine a circle, our dreams are in a big circle, and we write down, we don't know what we want when we're 18 or 19 or 20, but we write them down anyway. I want a big big house. I want a house so big my wife has to have a riding vacuum cleaner. And, and I want to have like a big Winnebago, Mercedes, Ferrari kind of car with, and I want to have a fur sink and electric turtleneck sweat. And there's dumb stuff you'll want to.
Right.
And then you get out in the world and your paycheck's a much smaller circle. Mm-hmm. And you start to do things where we rationalize our big circle into our income circle. And, then we say stuff like, I don't want to live in a house that big. Who would clean it? I don't want to travel. There's communists and terrorists everywhere and make too much money, go to hell. And, I don't want a big fancy car like that. Give me something in a beige. I just want a good warranty. And we say these things and we start to slowly give up on those dreams, but those dreams are fueled by income. Mm-hmm. Big dreams require some money. One of my goals in life is a dog farm. I mean, it's I don't even know what it looks like, but I just know it's going to take a lot of money. And you don't want to make the money because of the money, but you want to make the money because of the opportunities you create. And you got to find a way to make that little circle the same as your goal size circle. And that's where people start to give up through rationalization. And I love your quote about that. I think that's one of the most relevant things we've heard. Don't give up, man. Your dream is relevant. Your dream is important. But the hard part is it's up to you.
Right.
And everything that's easy to do is also easy not to do. So it's easy to stick with your dream. It's also easy to give up the ghost and, stick with the small income circle. I don't know what the answer is, but I know this. People are part of it. And we're going to wrap this show up today. Kenneth, thank you again, sir, for your kind service to this wonderful show and these people in this community. Tyler Davis, thank you for sharing yourself and your family here today on Cashflows. Today, be nice to each other. Make good choices for your family and for the people around you. And more importantly, today, forgive somebody who doesn't deserve it, because forgiveness is not about them. Forgiveness is about you and how you'll be after the act of forgiveness. Because after all, haven't we all been forgiven when we don't deserve it? And finally, you can cut some of those chains that you voluntarily wrapped around your waist for no apparent reason. And man, if you don't forgive people, it's going to follow you around and bother you the rest of your life. That is too much power to give somebody from way back, having an impact on your business today. This show, Cashflows, it's about you, and we're glad you're here. Thank you.
That's our show for today. Stay tuned for another riveting edition of Cashflows.